Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So it's Friday, which means I'm filming and it's a weekend. So today I am going to try and attempt my first review of some makeup products. I got a couple of new palettes for my birthday from my Nana. I probably mentioned it previously. They are all three from Alter Ego, and I made sure that she used the code BEEPING for money off, and it's just a brand I really wanted to try. I know that Betty Jean has sold me on this brand pretty much, and it was very affordable, and I wanted to get some freshness in my collection, and I gave her a couple to choose from, and she got me all three, so I am forever grateful for my Nana for these birthday gifts. I'm going to, like I said, attempt my first review. I have three of them here, and I think it is important to continue to do reviews even on products that are not as new to the market, because as someone like myself who is starting to grow their collection, it's nice to have fresher reviews. I feel like the preferences 2 or 3 years ago in the makeup world and the beauty community have changed from being very like filled in brows and matte skin and or matte foundation and beauty blenders. Not that beauty blenders are like not popular now, but I feel like it is a little more evenly split between like brushes and sponges. I think a lot of people use either or now. But I feel like it's important to continue to review things as they come into your collection, just to, if anybody else is interested in purchasing this, they can get an updated review of somebody who is in the same time that they are. I hope that made sense. And I know that this is the longest intro ever. Yeah. So if that sounds interesting to you, hold tight. We're getting into it in just a second. I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Haley. Here are my socials. Go follow me on there. Instagram, I usually post looks that I don't film, and Twitter, I'm still getting the hang of using consistently. So this is my realm of creativity, where I mainly explore makeup and fantasy related things. So if that sounds good to you, I would love it if you would subscribe and become a companion on my makeup quest. Now let's get into the video. It's Friday, and today we are actually partaking in an adult beverage. This is one of my favorite drinks. It's the Blueberry Blonde Big Muddy, which is a local brewing company where I am located. The three palettes I got for my birthday because of my lovely Nana was first the Goddess palette, and I honestly I've watched so many videos of Beauty Bean featuring this, and a couple of other creators. She's the only one that comes to mind right now. But honestly, I did not, in the pan, I don't know if you can see it on camera. In videos, you really cannot see how dimensional this lip is. It's really like, it's like insane. I don't have a duochrome that strong in my collection, and that is the highlight of the palette for me. Honestly, the shimmer shades I am blown away by. I have done, this is, by the way, not a first impression. So these are reviews. I've already played with these. I've done a look or two with each of them already. So this is not a first impressions. These are very much reviews. So just so you know, I have already played with these. I have opinions on them. So there's that. Second palette I got was the Temptress palette, which is the dupe for the Sultry palette. So I only own one ABH palette, and I was intending on getting the Soft Glam for a while, and now I'm really not interested in purchasing from them now that I have kind of grown my list of grow my list of brands that I'm interested in. They've just kind of been bumped down a little bit, especially since I've tried this formula. This is what it looks like. I think this is the one I've played with the least, just because I don't really do a whole bunch of like neutral looks. It's beautiful though, and I wanted it because I don't have any cool tone shadows in my I don't have any cool tone shadows in my collection, so I wanted to experiment with those tones a little bit. Or my first all cool tone palette. So I think the standout in this one is probably like Whisper, because I don't have another gray shadow. I just find that so, I don't know, it's just something that is enticing. There was another palette on there that was sold out. I think it was the Sahara that had a gray in there too. I'll be picking that up as well as soon as it comes back in stock, because I thought that color story was beautiful as well. Honestly, if it was in stock, I'd probably pick that one up over this one, but that's just my preference kind of now, knowing or owning this palette. If I could have one, I'd probably pick that one now. And then the last one I have is the Aurora, and this one is a dupe, I think, for the Sunset palette from Tasha Denona. The Goddess palette is a dupe for the Gold palette. But yeah, this is gorgeous. I loved the look I made with it. Again, the standout in here is this shimmer. I think I'm going to play with this one today just because my shirt's all colorful and I want to stick with my colorful theme. This portion of the video is going to be long because this is the only palette review that I'm also going to include my base in, because I just want to chat, guys. I don't want to cut to my base already being done because I haven't talked to you guys all week and I miss you. I am going to cut, however, to my bangs being parted and my brows being done. I'm back. I think I'm gonna play with I'm gonna go with Shine all over the crease, and then fluff, then put Starburst all over the lid, and then I think I'm going to use two different shimmers today. I think I'm going to use, I really want to use Dawn again. I used Dawn in my first look, but I think I should use something else. No, I'm not going to. I'm going to use Dawn kind of on the inner and outer, and then on the very center, I'm going to use Radiance. Or Radiance into Stellar, maybe? I haven't decided. One of the two. I'm taking Shine, and I am just going from people. I feel like a lot of people in my real life ask me how I've learned how to do makeup, and it really is just watching other people do it and then sitting down and taking your time. I would do my makeup for like hours when I was in college. It was like my weekend, end of day kind of relax time. It was just like everything that I like. It really is meditation for a lot of people, and me included. It's just a way for me to do one thing at a time. I do have a lot of anxious thoughts and habits, and when I'm doing my makeup, I don't have those. So I'm just getting like the lightest color. Like, I don't even know if you could see this, but it's just the lightest color. And for me, this eye droops a little lower, like my eye slopes right here, and this one doesn't. It stays pretty open on the outside. So a couple things I do to make it look a little bit more symmetrical is I start above my crease. I do pretty blown out looks anyway, so I start above my crease. So like your crease is like in your eyeball, like that. I know it probably looks very disturbing. So I start a little bit above that, and I go from the corner of my inner eyebrow all the way over, and like skipping this lower crease. So like I start in my inner crease and I go over like that. And I do the same thing over here. So I'm kind of making fake creases that are even. And then I kind of build on from that. And it just makes everything look, especially this side, look lifted and look even with this side. So that is just how I do my makeup. It makes me feel good. Is it technically correct? Probably not, but that is the joy of doing makeup for fun, and you get to learn what you like on your own face. I'm gonna switch from Starburst. Instead of putting that all over the lid, it's not as deep as I'm wanting it. I'm gonna go down to this orange color called Soul and do that instead. So I sit here and I do my makeup for hours, and then people ask me how I got good at it, and I'm like, I don't practice. It's probably one of the only habits that I have practiced to the degree that I've practiced it. And I'm okay with looking bad because I do it when I'm not going anywhere. Like, I will come home from work and I'll do my makeup. I did it a lot more when I was in college, but what's wrong, Bubba? But yeah, makeup is the only thing that I've actually practiced to the degree, maybe minus writing, but writing has a couple of years on my makeup skills. Are you jumping down? Oh, good boy. It's just doing it consistently, and like, it's a trial and error process. We always think that we know ourselves better than we actually do, and then when we do something like makeup where you have to know your face, it's a challenge sometimes. And I don't think anybody's bad at makeup. These mattes are pretty much, it's the color that you get in the pan is the color that you're gonna get. And like I said, it is a trial and error process. Like, it's not a step-by-step thing. You can always do your makeup in whatever order you want, and you don't always have to wear blush. You don't always have to wear highlighter. Like, you wear what you like, and you do it in the way that makes you feel nice. And for a long time, I was trying to imitate what I saw people do too. I have probably mentioned this before, but I am a huge RuPaul's Drag Race fan, and the way I started learning how to do makeup, and pretty much my fundamentals of makeup I was learning was from drag queens and stage makeup. And I didn't know anything about skin types and doing anything but, a really high up cut crease. I used to do a cut crease that went like from here to the corner of my eyebrow, and that's how I did my makeup. I liked how it looked at that time, but the more I was like learning and the more I was practicing and doing things on myself, I was like, I don't know if I really like that, or I don't need powder because I have dry skin. So I don't need a matte foundation. I need something that's going to be a little bit more hydrating. And so it's just trial and error, and being patient with yourself. I'm just dipping back and forth between the shine color and the star. I'm just going over the edge of that. BK202 that came in the Britt Clark set that I grabbed. I should have a review up on these brushes already. I will link them. How have you guys been? Enough about me. Enough about my makeup. How have you guys been? I applied for a job, and I'm almost done with the Lord of the Rings book, audiobook in my car. I recommend Glitter Glue. I use the NYX one because I listen to almost everything that Betty Jean tells me. I should really do like the influencer tag. I watched Angelica Nyqvist. I think that's how you say your last name. She just did a video of kind of who influences her, and it was a tag created by Leora? I think it's Leora. We're going with Leora. I can't remember people's names in my job, so I'm sorry. She made the tag, I believe, and then Karen Harris and Katie Marie did it, and now Angelica did it, and I thought it was a pretty interesting video. But yeah, I highly suggest using a glitter primer. It really does just make everything pop, and it makes application of shimmers a lot easier. I like my looks a lot more. Not that I wasn't liking the looks that I was coming up with, but I'm liking my looks a lot more now. And shimmer placement is another thing that is very personal. I look straight on at my mirror, and I just go in the center of my eye, and I just go like that, and then I fade it out in like a moon, always staying just a little bit above the crease, especially in the inner corner, so the shimmer doesn't disappear. And I found that it works best when you're doing like shimmer or glitter glue to work one eye at a time. I find that is the best application. So I'm going to, like I said, take Dawn, which is a pink to blue duochrome, and I'm gonna put that on the outer and inner corner. And actually, I'm just gonna put it on the outer corner today. So I'm gonna take Dawn. This is a pink blue duochrome, and I'm just gonna hit the outer corner with it. And then I'm gonna flip over and do Stellar. I think I'm just gonna do 2 shimmers. Now you can see when I open my eye, I'm not losing the shimmer that I put down in my crease. And then I just kind of like go in between the 2 of them where they meet. And whatever brush I've used for this eye look, I don't really notice a huge difference if I go in with the one that I use for the orange or around, and I just pick up just a little bit and I just go around the edges of the shimmer. And I don't do, I think actually, spur of the moment, yeah, I'm actually going to dip. I'm gonna hit Twilight on the outer corner and just deepen it up just a little bit because I'm not getting the depth that I want. And it will also tie in the orange to the pink blue duochrome a little bit better. So I'm just gonna do that. I'm just going over the very edge. I'm not taking it too far up, because I still want this part to be light. I'm just kind of going like this. Yeah, that added a lot more depth than I needed. So I am going to be right back. I'm going to do the other eye's shimmers, and I won't look too different other than that. I'm back. And I have some mascara on. Okay, that's the only thing that's changed. But I'm back with my review. Overall, I love this formula. It's probably up there in my top 5 formulas. It's probably surpassed my LA Girl and my ABH. It's probably number 3 right now. I'd say, just based off of these 3 palettes. This color right here, you're not going to be able to see it. Probably one of my favorite colors that I have with that dual chrome flip. It's the it's pink to blue. Highlights for me is this row of mattes right here. There are some shimmers in here I'm not too crazy about, like Ray. It's just a red shimmer, and I'm just not super crazy about it, just because I also have like a similar shimmer in my Jackie Aina palette, and I don't use that enough, so I don't think I'm going to be using Ray a whole lot. I could, be wrong. I could do a whole ruby look and love it, but just the fact that it is a red shimmer is like, it's okay. I already have one. Yeah, the standouts to me are the shimmers. They have really nice crease colors. Pigmentation is great. Blendability is great. I would recommend getting this palette now. In this current makeup climate, this is still currently a good formula with everything that is out there. I'm going to continue. I am priming with my tiny little silicone-free priming moisturizer that I got as a free gift for my Good Molecules order. And I really love this primer. I don't go in with a whole lot of pore filling primers, and my face is dry, and with me doing my makeup usually in the evening, sometimes I film in the morning, and you notice I'm not taking this up on my forehead because I'm not going to put anything on my forehead. Actually, I'm going to undo my part. Hello. Sometimes I get up and film early, but it's usually like way after I've done all my skincare for the morning, like probably 2 or 3 hours after I've done my skincare. I love it. Anyway, I'll probably purchase it, the full-size one, just because I know Good Molecules is an affordable brand and I like this already, so good on them for sending this to me for free, because I'll buy the full one. The next thing I am going in with, I am concealing under my foundation. I am in the shade Light Ivory. This is a medium coverage, and I wouldn't say it's matte. It's more of a skin finish. And I watched James Welsh, and I know not to do the triangle. I have found, for me personally, to help with my under eyes, I'll show you. I go from like the middle of my bag, because I have pretty dark under eyes, and I just go like that. And I just go like that. I still am able to see my bags underneath, but everything looks kind of lifted and brighter. This is kind of a peachier tone than my skin is, so it helps to cancel kind of those blue tones out as well. It's not completely a color corrector, but that's not a step that I'm really interested in anyway. So this is kind of how I cheat that. And then I just let that sit for a little bit while I conceal my other places. And I just go around my mouth. And then I hit any acne scars that I still have. Like, I have a bunch of acne scars over here, and I don't do like a super heavy amount. Like, I'm not gonna dip back in and it's already kind of running low, but I'm just covering those spots like that, and then I'm gonna blend it with my finger the exact way that I put this on. So I'm gonna start with my eyes and then go to my mouth and then go to my cheeks. And I don't really bring it in all the way usually. I just like go in a diagonal and then go on top of my cheek. And you can just like see how lifted that is. That's how I do it, and that's how I like to do my concealer. I just use this. It's not like the most perfect match for me, but it blends to the point where it doesn't look, I mean, this never looks cakey on me, but I wore this concealer for my wedding only, because I didn't want to look super masky, and it was gonna be a long day anyway, and I didn't own powder at the time. If I look different, that's because I got a phone call and I had to stop filming. So I haven't done anything. I still just have my concealer on. Anyway, I just used this for my wedding day and I loved how I looked all day, so I would recommend it. Going to go in with just a bit of this Wet n Wild stick foundation, just a little bit. Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation in Shell Ivory. It's a little light for me. It's almost my shade now that things are getting lighter and I am getting lighter. And I'm just taking my BK brush from that same Brett Clark set and blending that out really quickly, because that is really quickly. I know this seems like a lot, but really everything is very thin layers, and that is what I found works best. I'm going to mix these two for the first time today. I usually spot highlight with this underneath my foundation, or use it all over. I've never really mixed the two before, so this is the first time kind of thing. Shade Porcelain. And then the LA Girl Luminous Glow Skin Illuminator in the shade Moonlight. This foundation is more of a BB cream finish. Very light. And I usually mix it with Milk Makeup Blur Liquid Foundation for those days, and I mix those two together. I love the combination of the Candid Glow with the Milk Blur. So yeah, guys, I don't think I like this combination. I need to reassess the situation once I like put bronzer and everything on, because I feel like I look really pale with that, and that might be the combination that I also put the stick foundation on the bottom. We are going to bronze up the face because I like really dramatic cheeks. I don't know, I just do. As the foundation settles with the Moonlight in it, the LA Girl Glow, I'm liking it a little more. Next, we are going, I don't want to say always, but I always use at least 2 different blush colors. Today I'm using the AOA Hush blushes in Cozy and Passion. One is a lot brighter and this one is a little pinkier, and I don't know. I can't commit to one blush usually, unless it's a powder blush, and even then usually I use 2. And then I just like kind of overlap my blush and bronzer just a little bit, and then take my blush even higher up my cheeks, I really like a really strong angle like that. I love the formula of these, you guys. I'd recommend them if you're trying to get into cream blush and don't want to spend a whole lot and you want to kind of see, oh, that bright, Haley, bright. If you want to kind of see what tones you like and how best to blend things, and you don't want to like invest in just like a single compact and then maybe you don't like the color or the formula isn't right. I'm just like keep going ham on that side. I would recommend getting these. I think that they are a good purchase. Out of the things that I've tried from AOA, I would still vouch for those. Yeah. I'm just gonna take this and blend out the edges because I went a little crazy. I mean, I love blush, but like, holy smokes. My cheeks are looking really good today, guys. I'm really liking that combo. I am going in with this highlighter. I got this off of the recommendation of Teresa is Dead, and I have the liquid version of these, and they're just now moving up in my ranking of highlighter formulas. But for a long time I didn't like them, but this is the powder one. I keep my tags on everything. I don't take any stickers off. Anyway, this is the Hello Halo blush lighter. I'm pretty sure that these were in one of her videos recently, and I got the Duo After Sex Glow, and I've got to say I've used this only once, but I have to say I wasn't a huge fan of the pink side, which is strange. I just found it patchy on me, but I don't know. So we are going to go in with it a little more precise brush. Last time I think I used this one. It might have been just a little too big for the formula and not precise enough. So I am going to take the peach side again just because the cheeks are looking very peachy. And I like to concentrate my highlighter. Concentrate. Formula. I think I'm going to go over this with my blush again. I like it better underneath the blush. Yeah, I like that better. Maybe it's too, yeah, I think it might be too glittery. This one is a very fine formula. I think that is what I prefer, is a very fine highlight. That is the completed look, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I was like really all over the place. I need to eat. I think that's it. I think I need to eat something. Aurora palette, 10 out of 10, would recommend. The shimmers, perfect. They work even more amazing with a glitter glue. Really excited to film my first reviews, and I hope you guys like them. I'm taking After Hours. I'm taking After Hours and just gonna put that all over my lid and a little bit above my crease. And I'm gonna blend it out. I haven't used this shade, I don't think. I think I've just swatched it. It's a really nice brown. It goes well with my eyeballs. That was a weird way of saying that. It goes well with my eye color. Is this like a cool tone brown? I don't know what I'm wearing to this dinner. I know it's not going to be super fancy, but like real grown-ups have not business casual, but just like weird, fancier, casual clothes than I have, okay? I am a very t-shirt, jeans kind of lady. Uptown, which is a like grayish color. It's like not quite mid-tone, but it's not super light, like a brown-based gray. And I'm just gonna go over the edges of that with this shadow. Now I'm going in with Lust right there, and it's a little warmer, same tonal family as the Up Down that I was just using, but it's a lot more brown than gray. And I'm just kind of going over where I put that Uptown. This is just not giving me the grunge that I wanted. Yeah, so I'm doing a super grungy looking look for my first and probably one of my only like dinners for adulthood. I have a headache, like a blasting headache, you guys. I'm gonna take the 207 from the Britt Clark collection and go into Stiletto, and that is like the only matte black in my entire collection over here in this corner. Because I like to live life dangerously. I'm just putting that on my outer corner. I'm going to just like sporadically shimmer this. I've never done this before, but I'm only doing one shimmer and I don't know which one I want to do. I think last time I did Desire. I think I'm gonna do Guilt. Yeah, it's just a nice gold color and I think I'm just gonna go with that. I am gonna use my glitter glue. And I'm just gonna use just the smallest amount in between my two eyes. And just like that. Just like put the smallest amount down and just I'm taking it. And I'm just gonna go over the edges. Yeah, and so I'm just taking that Lust, which is like the medium tone brown that I've been using to blend everything out with, and blending it into my eyebrows up here. I think that's it for the eyes. I'm gonna put mascara on and give you guys my reviews for this palette in just a minute. Hey guys, I'm back. And I have my final thoughts that I want to share with you guys on the Temptress palette. Everything that I used will be listed down below. The Temptress palette is probably the most neutral palette that I have in my collection, which is good because it serves a purpose. The shimmers are not as intense as the ones in the Aurora and the Goddess palette. But that makes sense because they are dupes. And I know that Natasha would probably have more foiled and intense shimmers than ABH, so it makes sense that this one doesn't have as much like bang as the Aurora and the Goddess. Overall, it's a beautiful color story. I'm really glad that I picked it up. I still stand by that I would rather probably get the Sahara palette. I believe that it's that one, the Sahara palette, instead of this one. Just because of what I just said, was because it's a Natasha Denona dupe, so I think that I'd be a little bit more impressed with the shimmers, and it would also have the cool tones as well. But overall, it's a great palette. I would think that this is more like work appropriate stuff. I don't wear makeup to my job, but I know a lot of people do. So if I did wear makeup at work, I'd probably wear something along these lines. It's very simple, muted. You got that pink, which is just like a really nice pop that you could do a lighter shimmer pink and then kind of a darker pink to go along with those. You could easily just do a swipe of any metallic over your lid and call it a day. You could do something smokier like I did. There's a lot of versatility in this palette, and yeah, I look forward to pulling this out a lot more. It has a couple of those like cool tone browns that I'm looking forward to doing in like a fierce face for some feathers or something, because feathers are usually a lot more muted for like owls or something. But yeah, I'm just thinking of ways that I'm going to be using it in the future, how I typically will use my makeup. But yeah, this is my updated review on the Temptress palette, and on to the next. Hey, this last part of my video is gonna look like I shot it in like the 1990s. Yeah, I'm really sad because I'm grateful for my mom for sending the camera, and it really did help being able to use my phone during filming. But God, I'm looking at the footage now, and you guys are just gonna think that I time traveled. Maybe I did. We are on to look number 3. I know I probably look different. I am actually filming with a real camera and trying something new out. This is a whole new setup for me, looking at the camera directly. So yeah, I'm using the microphone to record on my phone. So everything is very new to me today. So hopefully this works out. It's kind of a trial run, so I can start to use my actual phone to do some other kinds of videos. Yeah, I'm going to, I know that the other two looks of this video were a lot lengthier. With this new camera, I only have 20 minutes to film, so you're only going to see one eye for this one. And then I'm going to jump back in and tell you my thoughts on the palette at the end of my look. So, and I usually do my eyes first. So this is the last palette I have to review from Alter Ego. We already did the Aurora and the Temptress palette. This is the Goddess palette, probably the most popular one. A lot of people have this one. And I am working out right after this, so I'm going to make a pretty look, but it's probably not going to last long. This isn't a wear test or anything. Really? This is how the palette looks. I think I'm going to go with more of these brown tones and then use more of a goldy copper look today. The first time I played with this palette, I did with the green, that green, that blue, and the two shifty duochromes in here, Cassandra and Valkyrie. And I think today I'm going to play with Lissa and Luna as my shimmers. Luna is my cat's name, so I have this weird obsession that if anything comes out with my pets' names that I have to get it. So there's that. I am going to start, and I might be screaming, by the way. I'm going to start with Hera in my crease and just build that up a little bit. That on my BK201 brush from the Burt Clark set. Sadly, the set is no longer available, but you can still get the brushes individually. And I'm just taking that from the base of my brow out in a straight line, creating a faux crease for me. I like to bring my eyeshadow really high. I've probably mentioned this before, but if you're new, just explaining myself, really focusing in on this inner corner. I like to go pretty heavy in here and smoke it out. And I'm going to take Juno all over the lid with a packing brush. This is my AOA E137. It's probably one of my favorite packing brushes that I have. It just lays it down nice and thick. And I'm just taking that from the bottom of where we put Hera and putting that all over my lid. Going back in with the 201 just a little bit, dipping in between the two shades and going like that. I'm gonna use I don't know how many times I've done this to you guys, I'm sorry. I'm gonna use the 207 from the BK set, and I'm gonna dip into the darkest brown in the shade, darkest brown in the palette, Avalon right there. And I'm just going to, I'm not really gonna put a whole lot on, just to deepen this up right here. This is probably the fastest eye look I've ever done. That I was blending Hera and Juno with, and I'm just going over where I placed Avalon. Just like that. Really, buddy. Now I'm going to do my shimmers. I'm going to take my NYX Glitter Primer, as I have always done since I've started getting this, as the great Beauty Bean has taught me. And it really does make a difference. If you're ever wondering if it does, it really does. Like, as somebody who has just recently started, like, practicing makeup, and not recently, but more seriously because of YouTube, starting to practice makeup, NYX Glitter Primer really does make a difference. I'm just taking a really flat brush. This is the brush I use all the time. It's the AOA E131. Just going above my crease. And then I'm going to, trying to figure out which one I want to put first. I think I'm going to put Lissa on the middle outer corner, and then I'm going to go into Luna on the inner corner. And then I'm just flipping between the two sides just to meld them together at the seams. Going into the mattes again, taking the 202, mainly picking up Juno, just a little bit of Hera, tapping my brush off, and going on the edge. Just like that. I think that's my finished eye, you guys. Super quick. Actually, I lied. I'm going to add just a little bit more of Avalon, just on the outer corner. Just a little bit. This is the eye look. I am going to recreate it on the other eye, finish my face, and give you guys my final thoughts on this palette and Alter Ego altogether. Okay, I'm back and my face is done. So finishing thoughts. Finishing thoughts on the Alter Ego brand. I'm impressed. I will definitely be picking up some of their lip products and definitely the brush set as soon as it comes back in stock, because honestly these were amazing quality. Out of the three that I picked up, the Goddess and Aurora are tied for my favorites, formula wise, because you guys have to remember this is a dupe brand. They well, I don't want to limit them to just being a dupe brand, but right now they are known for doing dupes, and that, to my knowledge, is all that they've done. So they try to dupe the formula of whatever palette they are doing. And the Aurora and the Goddess palette are dupes of Natasha Denona palettes, while the Temptress that I have is a dupe for the Sultry palette, which is no longer available. The foil, the shimmers weren't as impressive, but they are duping ABH. So you have to remember who they're duping and what the formulas are going to be like comparatively, because if I if I would have kept that in mind, I probably wouldn't have picked up the Temptress. Yes, it is beautiful, but I feel like I can get very similar looks out of their other Natasha Denona dupe that they have, that I believe is the Sahara. And it had a lot of those same cool tones and shimmers. It was just a very, similar vibe. So in hindsight, I probably wouldn't have picked up the Temptress. I love these palettes. The mattes are very pigmented. What you see in the pan is what you're going to put on your eye. It translates really well. The shimmers, I use the NYX Glitter Primer with almost all of my shimmers. You probably wouldn't need the glitter glue as much if you got the Temptress palette, but if you're not looking for something that's going to give you that intensity, then I would still say that the Temptress palette was a pretty good buy for you. So just keep that in mind. Really, they are duping what the palette is, and the intensity is going to match. So I mean, ABH really isn't known as the super wow brand anymore. It's very Natasha Denona, Pat McGrath heavy. That's what they should do, dude. That is who they should dupe. They should dupe a Pat palette. Maybe even those special shades. This palette in particular has the 2 strongest duochromes that I have in my collection, and I think that they're just gorgeous. If I could just wear these every day. Cassandra is a green to like orangey red flip, and then Valkyrie here in the middle is a green to gold flip. They're both stunning. Oh no, that's not Hera, that's Freya. This white down in the corner is a white to gold. So just some really nice duochromes in this palette. These 2 being the strongest. This one is very similar to 2 other shades that I have. It's one of my favorite kind of shades, is those iridescent duochromes is probably my favorite kinds of flips. And then we have the Aurora palette, where the shifts aren't as big, but I feel like where this palette shines is the mattes, especially these Starburst shades right here. This Orange Soul is it's a beautiful warm orange. I love that color. Twilight is a very nice deepening shade, and then this is kind of like it's like a pomegranate. Watch me, name all the different ways that I can describe these colors. I would say the strongest shift in this palette would be Dawn, and it is a purple to like a light purple to like a hot pink kind of shift. So it is very pretty, and I think I've played with every color minus Ray. I don't think I've played with Ray in this palette yet. So yeah, I think that was Ray's the only one that I haven't played with in this one, and that's only just because it's a little underwhelming of a shade. It's very similar to Wiggley's in the Jackie Aina palette. I'll just swatch them for comparison's sake, because why not? Oh wow, those are almost completely the same. Oh wow. Well, now that I've swatched it, Ray has an actual flip. It's very subtle. So the top one is Ray, and the bottom one is Wiggley's. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see this because I don't know how well this camera is going to catch it. But the Ray from the Aurora actually has a small flip. It is red with like just a little bit of a pink. Yeah, it's like red with a little bit of a pink flip. It's very minute, but it's just a little more special than Wiggly's, so I'm gonna have to use that shade now. But while we're here, why don't I just swatch Freya? Oh gosh, that's almost a dead ringer for trust issues. Yeah, trust issues might just be a little more gold. So, oh no, you're not gonna be able to see that at all. The top is from the Aurora, from the Goddess palette, and then the bottom is Trust Issues. I really don't think you're gonna be able to see them, but on the off chance you do, I will keep this footage in. But yeah, just a couple of things to note there. Now the Temptress palette, last one. Gorgeous palette. If you don't have the Sultry palette and it was something that you were really interested in, I say pick it up. It's not a bad palette at all. It's just a little underwhelming now that I have tried the Natasha Denona dupes. And I mean, I'm pretty sure I said it earlier in this video, but those formulas of the Alter Ego formula of those two palettes have beat out my Jackie Aina palette. My Jackie Aina palette is now currently my number 5 favorite formula. So yeah, I love this palette. I love the looks that I've done with it so far. It is really a palette that I go to on a day that I don't want to spend too much time doing my makeup. And I'm just wanting to put something on to keep my skills fresh and keep my creativity fresh. Where it really shines for me is the cool tones. I don't have any other cool tones in my collection, so these really stand out to me. Personally, this is the only matte black in my entire collection, and I used it for my other tutorial in this very probably long video, and it's gorgeous. I think shimmer-wise, Desire down here and Guilt. Yeah. Desire is really the standout shimmer for me. It's like this dirty bronzy color, and just the dirtiness of that color is really like sexy. I love that color. The only colors I haven't used so far are these two right here. One is like a light pink, Seduction, and this baby pink shimmer called Champagne. And I don't think I've played with this silver either. Sterling, I don't think I've played with that. Otherwise, I've used everything else, and I've got to say, you know, Alter Ego is a brand that I'm going to continue to buy from. They're cruelty-free, and I'm looking forward to using these palettes and adding all these colors and all these shades that I've acquired thanks to my Nana for my birthday. I'm really looking forward to incorporating them into the looks that I am going to be doing very soon. So if you guys like this video, please like, please subscribe, thumbs up, comment down below. If you guys are interested in Alter Ego, if this was helpful for you. I know that none of these palettes are new, but I know that the makeup world is ever evolving, and I think that we need to keep up reviews of even older products to see how they hold up to how the market is doing in the current climate that, you know, somebody's purchasing in, because people don't just stop buying things even when they're old. So I think that this is something that people should continue to do. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!